Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet.
Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Crime drama Gerald Mohr, starring in The Adventures of Philip Marlowe, an episode from September 3rd, 1949. This is entitled The Bum's Rush.
Get this and get it straight. Crime is a sucker's road, and those who travel it wind up in the gutter, the prison, or the grave. The trail started in Montana with a bum with two names rushing away from his lady love, and led fast into L.A., past a southerner from Canada, a worried wool dealer, and a chorus girl with a .45. When it finally stopped at Murder in the Park, the tramp was still in a hurry.
From the pen of Raymond Chandler, outstanding author of crime fiction, comes his most famous character in The Adventures of Philip Marlowe. Now, with Gerald Mohr, starred as Philip Marlowe, we bring you tonight's exciting story, The Bum's Rush.
You know, there comes a time in everyone's life when a relative wants a favor. But this was a particularly nice relative. In fact, a great old gal. She'd written my name and address in the center, and her name, Jessie Gavins, Eagles Rock, Montana, in the upper left corner of the envelope. The stamps totaled away a mail special, and the letter inside started off like one of those, "I was wrong, you've got to find him for me, you've got to" types. But it didn't wind up that way. Clipped to the letter was a $100 check, and under that, a not-too-good snapshot of a bald man holding a rake, who wouldn't have been helped any by better photography. 10 minutes later, at exactly 8 p.m., my long-distance call was put through, and the voice that belonged to Aunt Jessie was snapping at me from Eagles Rock, Montana, like the end of a whip.
Certainly I wrote it. How many Jessie Gavinses do you think there are in Eagles Rock? Philip, I want you to find Jonathan Miter and see if he's all right.
Yeah, you said that in your letter.
Jonathan Miter is my fiancé.
Aunt Jessie.
Oh, I know what you're thinking, young man, but I'm 51 and he's 55, and there's nothing wrong with the September song if the harmony's close enough.
Yeah, I hope my harmony's that good when I'm 55. Why are you worried, honey?
Because he left here last week on some kind of a big deal. It's a secret. That's all he'd tell me, and I haven't heard a word from him since.
I see. Well, tell me, what sort of a deal would it be? I mean, what business?
He's not in any business.
Oh, what was his work before he retired?
Well, he's not exactly retired either.
He's not exactly... Look, Aunt Jessie, I'm getting at this. What does he do, or what did he used to do for a living?
Frankly, nothing. Well, I might as well tell you. Most folks around here, Philip, think Jonathan Miter's just a bum. Maybe he is. He came to town, Philip, on a freight train a month ago, and he's been raking leaves for handouts ever since. That's how I met him. But he's a fine, honest, proud man, and I'm going to marry him.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Look, you didn't happen to give that fine, honest, proud man a wad of money to finance this big deal of his, did you?
Oh, no.
Well,
certainly.
then don't. Because I'll be frank. Sounds to me like a broken-down con man warming up a new routine.
Then I'll gladly pay to find that out, Philip. But I think you're wrong. Jonathan told me that he had to prove himself by making some money of his own before he'd marry me. As if I didn't have enough to take care of two people already.
Okay, Jessie, it's a little off-center, but I'll buy it.
Philip,
Huh?
when you find him, don't tell him that I hired you. As I say, he's very proud, and it'd hurt him. And now all I can give you to go on, aside from that snapshot I sent, is an address, 764 Hope Street in Los Angeles.
764 Hope Street. Well, how'd you get that?
From checking through every single thing of his I could lay my hands on. It was on the back of an envelope. Of course, it may not mean nothing.
You're so right, Jessie.
Please, now, don't joke with me, Philip. Jonathan was so serious and in such a hurry, and there was a funny, brave glint in his eye when he left. Do your best.
A brave glint. Oh, no. Okay, Jessie, no jokes. Goodbye, darling. I felt a little sorry for my Aunt Jessie Gavins because the concept of a knight of the road rushing off on a secret quest to prove himself worthy of marriage held up like a celluloid shovel. And it got no help when I pulled to a stop in front of 764 Hope Street. It was a cramped combination warehouse and office of corrugated iron and glass brick, respectively. with a shy red and black sign reading Hirsch Woolens over a door that looked like... Well, it looked like it handled about as much business recently as a repair shop for spinning wheels. It was half open, however, so I went in just in time to catch the last round of what must have been a healthy spat going on behind a frosted glass door marked private.
Well, I'll tell you something, Mr. Eldon Hirsch. Keep your eyes more on wool and less on nylon, and you'll be better off.
All right, all right. For heaven's sake, Martha, this is no time to quibble. We've got more important things to do. Unless, of course, you want to keep that chorus job at the Plumes forever. Well?
Okay. But you just watch your step. Goodbye, Eldon. Stand aside, stupid. This is a hallway, not an art gallery.
Yeah, there's a petty girl if ever I've seen one.
Well, what do you want?
Oh, Mr. Hirsch.
Yes?
Yeah, well, I'm Ned Johnson. I'm looking for a job.
What kind?
Oh, salesman. Wool's my line.
I see. And how long have you been waiting out here?
Oh, I just stepped in.
Come inside.
Thanks.
Sit down. Now, what is your specialty? Woolens, worsteds, or felts?
Well, I've handled them all.
We confine ourselves largely to a very high-grade merino woolen, Mr.
Johnson, Ned Johnson. I've worked with merino.
Oh, and what about the others? Lester, perhaps? Lincoln?
Oh, sure. Lester, Lincoln, certainly. I find it all a fascinating business.
So do I. A very romantic background.
Yeah.
By the way, what do you think of Lanatal as against merino?
Lanatal? Well, not good. No, you see, I've watched the Lanatals from the range right through shearing and on up to weaving. It just doesn't compare. What's the matter?
What are you really after?
I slipped, huh?
You fell on your face. Lanatal is synthetic wool made from milk. Now, who are you?
Okay. I'm from the Sequoia Credit Association. We're investigating you. Just a periodic routine thing. It's strictly confidential.
Get out of here and stay out if I ever catch you.
All right, take it easy. I was clumsy, that's all. Don't start a riot about it.
Look, you pry into my affairs
again. That's quite
again.
a temper you got there. Better watch it, Hirsch. It'll get you in trouble. So long. I hadn't exactly been wool gathering with Hirsch and Company, but I hadn't exactly made strides on the connection between a bum in a hurry and 764 Hope Street either. However, I couldn't help wondering what Hirsch had meant when I'd overheard him speak to the girl in the office about more important things to do. So when he slammed the door on my shoulder blades, I went around to the alley for a peek in his warehouse. But I skipped that when a man stepped into view wearing the identical face I had in my pocket on a snapshot. It was Jonathan Mitre. He'd swapped the rake for a silver-tipped cane and patches for 14-carat class from Spats to a Hamburg, which might well have covered a bald head. But it was the same man, no doubt about it. So I decided to play this one strictly 3 cushions with reverse English. Hey!
Huh?
Hey there, you!
Oh, were you addressing me, sir?
Yeah. Don't I know you? Oh, sure I do. Points east, huh?
You're mistaken, my man. I haven't been east in 30 years.
Oh, come on, friend. I'd know you anyway. You're good old Jonathan Mitre.
Sir, I am Ross J. Crowley of Canada, and I have never had the dubious pleasure of your acquaintanceship until this very moment.
Ross J. Crowley of Canada, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay, Mitre, that's the way you want it. What are you doing around the wool business? Setting it up for a fleecing or just pulling it over somebody's eyes?
My good man, you've obviously confused me with someone else. Now, pack off, like a nice fella. I'm in a hurry.
Now, wait a minute, Pop, wait a minute. Let's get this straight first. Your name's not Crowley. Why are you using it?
By Godfrey, sir, you're trying my patience. Stand aside.
Come on, let's have it.
Oh, very well, if you insist. Here it is.
Look out. Hey, come back here, you old goat. Why don't you look out?
Why, you awkward roughneck. Why don't you look where you're going?
I was, but I couldn't get around all 3 of you.
3? What do you mean, 3?
You and your 2 big feet. If you can't keep those gunboats out of people's way by yourself, hire a pilot. Oh, by now my boy's so far ahead I couldn't catch him if he stopped for lunch. Thanks to you. Goodbye. Went as far as the corner anyway, but I'd been right the first time. Jonathan Mitre, alias Ross J. Crowley of Canada, was long gone, and I had no idea where. This left me with one slim, lovely lead, a lady named Marcia. If I'd eavesdropped correctly, she would shortly be making with the legs in the chorus of the Plumes Theater restaurant. It was 7:30 when I entered the platinum-plated tourist trap on Hollywood Boulevard that featured small portions of bad food under glass and large helpings of good skin under lights. Cost me $10 and a fast ad-lib backstage, but it would have been worse out front, so when the chorus high kicked its way out into the wings, I nailed Marcia. She went by. She narrowed a half a pound of mascara at me and let a footlight smile drop, which left very little else.
Yeah, my name's Marcia. What do you want? Make it snappy. I gotta change.
Change what? Your hairdo? This won't take a minute, baby. All I want to know is where Jonathan Mitre can be found.
How should I know? I never heard of him.
You're stalling on your own time, baby. I got all night.
Nuts to you, Jack. Blow.
Come back here. This is important.
Now listen, you. I don't know anybody called Jonathan... what's his name? And put one more fingerprint on my arm and you'll get bounced out of here on your head.
You know, there's just a chance you could be on the level? Look, the guy wants about 55 and spats with a Hamburg over what is no doubt a bald dome. Carries a black cane with a silver tip and for some reason answers to the name of Crowley.
Crowley?
Yeah, that's it, Ross J. Getting warmer, huh, kid? And don't bother telling me you never heard of him.
So I've heard of him. So what? He's a good pal of mine. Met him a couple of nights ago. He's quite a sport.
I'll bet he is. Where can I find him?
What do you want him for?
I want to talk to him, that's all. Where's he live?
Up a tree. Like I said, Buster Blow.
And like I said, baby, this is important. So important, I'll have a lopsided line in the next number if you don't talk, because you won't be there. You'll be on your way to the pokey. Now, where does he live?
I don't know. He's from Canada.
You can come closer than that, sweetheart. Give.
All right. He tells me he takes a walk in the park every night. He raves about the gladiolas.
Like they grow in Coldwater Canyon Park, maybe?
Maybe.
Thanks, you're a good kid. Keep your powder dry, baby. I'll see you. That park looked deserted when a half hour later I drove by it to the far end, turned down a side street and stopped. But as I started in on foot, I saw him, Spats, Hamburg, cane, and alias, ambling slowly away from me along a back path. I started after him quietly, and when he got near a corner, I was close enough to hail him, and then grab. But I didn't get the chance.
Stand still and keep your mouth shut.
I turned slowly. It was the gentleman with the big feet, and he wasn't much uglier, just a little flabbier than the automatic wrapped up in his fist.
You seem to be falling over my feet every time I turn around.
I noticed that. But I figured the first time was coincidence.
What do you figure now?
That our gay dog, Mr. Crowley, who just turned that corner there, is wagging two tails. But you hold the gavel, Chairman.
And don't you forget it either. So he gave you the name Crowley, did he?
Mm-hmm. Why, you think he's got another one?
Stop that. We both know he's lying. What I don't know is why he took that name or why you're interested.
It's a hobby. I collect old geezers with more than one name.
Going to handle hard, huh? You won't tell me?
Well, I don't know your angle either. We might work out a trade, huh?
No. I'm not wasting any more time either. He's not going to get away from me again. And that means you'd better stay right here. Oh!
Piled me up on the ground with a stomach full of pain. I saw him run down the path. When I got back to my feet, he was taking the corner. I just started after him when it came. I froze and listened. There was nothing more to hear. I walked softly as far as the corner. He was face down, the toes of his oversized shoes digging into the grass, and the gun he hadn't time to use spilled a few inches away from his clenched, dead hand. And across the park and rushing for Coldwater Canyon Road as fast as his feet could go was a bum with two names and a Hamburg hat.
September 3rd, 1949, The Adventures of Philip Marlowe on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
You ever make a change and then think, why didn't I do this years ago? Well, that's how people feel about switching to Medi-Share for their health care, especially now with inflation the way it is. People are very happy with the savings. Most families save about $500 a month when they switch. It's a huge help when prices are going up so fast in so many other areas. And Medi-Share's customer satisfaction rate is double that of health insurance. It's just a different experience, and people really like that. Medi-Share is an alternative to health insurance. It's a community of Christians who share each other's healthcare bills, and it's been going strong for over 25 years. It really is the gold standard, the most trusted name in healthcare sharing. Find out why people love it, find out why they rave about the customer service, and find out how good it feels to save some money right now. They're super easy to talk to. Here's the number, 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE, 833-34-BIBLE.
Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. More, The Adventures of Philip Marlowe, starring Gerald Mohr, September 3rd, 1949.
Now, with our star, Gerald Mohr, we return to the second act of Philip Marlowe and tonight's story, The Bum's Rush.
When I took after the fleeing figure known to my Aunt Jessie as Jonathan Mitre, or Ross J. Crowley, who was still barely visible ahead with arms and legs flailing the night air like so many test streamers in a wind tunnel. I didn't know any more about his double identity than I had before, but I did know that what might have started as only a confidence game of sorts had now mushroomed into murder with the aforesaid gentleman very much involved. And a moment later, when I saw him, breathless and afraid, duck into a sagging, deserted wooden shack that showed a single red light and was labeled Department of Parks, Fire Equipment, Private, I figured the right time and place had come to talk it all over. And when I finally carefully stepped inside and announced both myself and 38 in hand in definite stentorian tones, he agreed wholeheartedly.
All right. I'll come out just as you say, sir, with my hands up. After all, I've no reason to hide.
Other than murder, no.
Well, murder? That noise I heard, that's what it was. Somebody was shot.
No, somebody was run over by a bullet rolling downhill at a terrific rate of speed. Now shut up and turn around, Pop. Hands still high. Time we got cautious.
Oh, are you searching for a gun on me, sir? Young man, you must be out of your mind. First you insist that I'm a Mr.
Miter.
Somebody I never heard of. And you're convinced that I'm a murderer. I don't understand you. There. No gun? Now, you satisfied?
No, intrigued. Where'd you throw it?
I didn't. I never had one. Anything else?
Yeah, the name Crowley, Ross J. Why do you use it?
Because it's mine. And that young man is a very common customer. Now, do you mind if I leave?
I do. Now look, old-timer. I'm only going to be nice about this for a little while because, first of all, there's a fresh corpse outside, and where I stand, you could be responsible for it.
And second of all?
Second of all, there's my angle, where I fit, who I work for, facts, and I don't want to reveal them unless I have to. Now from the top. You and the dead guy, the connection, what is it?
I haven't the slightest idea what you're talking about.
You haven't, huh? Okay, Pop, we play it straight all the way. Now listen. My name's Philip Marlowe. I'm a private detective, and I know when it's time to blow a whistle.
Don't move, Marlowe, or you never will again.
Oh, fine.
Marcia.
That's right, Marcia. And all loaded down with a nasty old .45 automatic that makes her look and feel very unladylike. Drop it, Marlowe. Come on. That's better. Now, Mr. Crowley, without waiting for Marlowe to apologize, go on.
Go, but where?
To the hotel. It's important, so hurry.
Oh, yes, very well. I won't waste a second. The key.
You won't need the key. Somebody's waiting for you. Goodbye, Mr. Crowley.
Goodbye. I hope I never meet you again, Mr. Maitland. Good night.
It's cute, isn't he?
Uh-huh, darling. The moment unimportant. Right now, you're my only concern, Marlowe.
Oh, that's nice, Marcia. It's cozy, just the three of us. You and that giant U.S. pistol, caliber 45. Say, baby, that's not your gun, is it?
No. You feel slighted?
Oh, no, sweet. Happy.
Stay back, Marlowe.
Why?
I'll shoot.
Oh, no, you won't. You can't.
I warn you, Marlowe.
No. You see, baby,
Take another step,
of
you're
the
through.
three safety devices on that Army gun, that doohickey
Marlowe,
there on
I'm
the
gonna
side
shoot
is
you.
one. It won't
Stay
work
back.
unless it's in the
Go
forward
on,
position.
You big jerk. Let go of me.
When school's out, I will. Now, the
What
first
is-
question, teacher.
Come on,
You and
let go.
Grandpa, alias Jonathan Miter, also alias Ross J. Crowley. What's the game you two are playing?
I don't know.
Where does Hirsch fit in?
Oh.
Come on, it's getting late. The
don't
star
know.
pupil wants an answer. He's anxious to get to the head of the class. Talk. What is it?
I don't remember, and I won't, so don't bother getting masculine or polishing apples, pupil. When I forget for a long, long time. Is that clear?
Yeah, it is. And since I can't wait, since I want to go out and play, we'll put you in here for safekeeping. Yeah. Hey, honey, you don't mind if I go through your bag, do you? I didn't think you would. Oh, here's a key that says in what room I'll find the team of Crowley and Miter. Oh, my, such a temper. After I'd picked up my .38, which the lady, who no longer sounded like one, had made me drop, and had checked the hotel key that read Villa 12, Wilshire Gardens, Beverly Hills, I ran outside and back toward my car in what I figured should be a big hurry. When I was halfway there, I had a premonition that speed was not to be. A premonition that was a head dressed in blue, carrying a club, wearing a badge, and leaning on my right front fender. And it wasn't until I was next to him that I quit worrying about a long, involved delay. Because the officer on hand, one Kurt Lemley, was an old and I hoped still good friend.
Well, hiya, Phil. Been waiting here for you since I called in about that body up there. Some kid heard the shot.
Oh, so you had once pegged this all-alone and very suspicious-looking car, huh?
Yeah, surprised it was yours. I'm disappointed. I'd hoped the name of the owner's tag was going to be Raleigh Newcomb.
Hey, wait a minute. You know his name?
Don't you?
No. No, we were on different sides when he got shot.
No, he's from Canada.
What?
Yeah, Vancouver. He had a business up there with a guy named Ross J. Crowley.
Crowley?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Kurt, how'd you find all this out?
I found a clipping in his wallet. It's got a picture on it. Oh, wait, right here. Wait a second, I'll put a light on it.
Yeah, hurry up, will you?
Yeah, see? See, two guys in front of a building.
That's
Raleigh
right.
Newcomb and Ross J. Crowley officiated the opening of
Kurt.
the... What's the matter?
Sure, it's what I figured. The guy's a liar. I've already met a guy who insisted that's his name and he's bald like the Crowley in the picture. Yeah, but there's a similarity ends, even though the picture's anything but clear.
What guy you talking about, Phil?
Jonathan Miter, an old geezer I was hired to find.
Hmm?
Bum who's pulling something fancy that incidentally ties in real tight with that murder over there.
You know where he is, Phil?
Sure, I know. That's where I was heading when I ran into you. Oh.
Ran into what, Phil? What is it?
The picture.
What?
Kurt.
Yeah?
Move your thumb up a little, will you? The way you just had it.
My thumb?
Yeah, move it. That's it, like that. Oh, brother, have I got a hunch. And even as I crossed the room, I knew that I was going to read a suicide note addressed to the police. telling them that the undersigned Ross J. Crowley had taken his own life, as well as that of the partner he'd been stealing from, Raleigh Newcomb, who had currently been pursuing him. What I didn't know until I reached for the letter to make sure that I'd figured right was the last line, just before the signature. It read, "Also, rather than face the humility of being dragged through the courts for killing Newcomb, I have taken the life of a man who would have caught me. A private detective named Philip Marlowe."
You read well, Marlowe.
What?
Especially when it's your own obituary, no? Hey. Don't move.
Well, Mr. Hirsch, huh? What do I call you, Crowley, now?
Doesn't matter, Marlowe. Suit yourself. What does matter is that you're not quite the boy genius you think you are.
Meaning what?
Meaning Marcia. You talked to her at the Plumes, then she talked to me. Between the two of us, we've maneuvered you around just like we wanted to, so we could include you in our plans. In other words, Marlowe, when Marcia sent Mida here from the park, we knew you'd follow. Marcia's reliable.
Yeah, all year round, I'll bet. Okay, Crowley, so the one with two heads isn't Jonathan Mida, it's you. You is Eldon Hirsch here in L.A. Is Ross J. Crowley, Newcomb's partner up in Canada. A crooked partner, Crowley, who, when he knew he was going to be caught, decided to kill himself, but with another guy's body. Jonathan Mida, so it wouldn't hurt.
Exactly.
And the conclusion of The Adventures of Philip Marlowe from September 3rd, 1949 will be up in just a few moments. Thank you so much for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.
Veterinary telemedicine is booming. Hi, I'm Dr. Lori Teller, president of the American Veterinary Medical Association, and I know firsthand that telehealth is a valuable tool to help provide our precious pets with the health care they need and deserve. Here are some situations where telemedicine may be an option for you and your pet. If the veterinarian has seen your pet in person in the past. If you're not sure you need to schedule an in-person visit. If your pet had surgery and needs post-operative follow-up. For skin diseases and rash rechecks. When your veterinarian needs to monitor your pet's chronic problems such as diabetes or allergies. If there are behavioral issues or training challenges. Or for hospice care. It's always good to have your session in a quiet place with good lighting. If you're not sure if you should set up a telehealth session, call your veterinarian and they'll let you know. To learn more, check out avma.org/telehealth. avma.org/telehealth.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of The Adventures of Philip Marlowe, starring Gerald Mohr, September 3rd, 1949.
Also, Marlowe, nobody will bother to look past what will pass as Crowley's buddy, or the murderer of Newcomb, who I didn't expect on the scene. I think you'll admit it's all accounted for in that letter there in Crowley's, my handwriting.
Bravo, you skipped nothing. Now, what about me?
Yes, you. You must go before Jonathan Mida, you know. Otherwise, the coroner might find something wrong with the sequence of deaths. So it's you first, then Mida.
Who no doubt is unconscious in the bedroom right now?
No, Mr. Marlowe, who no doubt is standing right here listening carefully.
Mida, you crazy fool, stay where you are.
No, Mr. Crowley, I won't. That way I die. This way at least I have a chance.
Yo, Crowley!
My shoulder.
Mida, you all right?
Yeah, I think so. Just winged. Oh, you got him, didn't you, Mr. Marlowe?
Yeah,
Yeah.
No. No, Jonathan, you got him. That rush did it, you big...
Bum, Mr. Marlowe?
Yeah, bum. It was 2 long hours of first aid for Jonathan. Arrest on the charge of murder for both Crowley and the accomplice before and after the fact, Martha. And questions and answers in triplicate for the police before Mida and I were finally alone and back in my office waiting for a call we put through to, of course, Eagles Rock, Montana. But even then, the gentleman vagabond couldn't quite get over things.
Then, in other words, Mr. Marlowe, this Crowley, who introduced himself to me as Hirsch, had his fiendish plan already formulated. And on one of his trips down from Canada, saw me when his train stopped at Eagles Rock. I was raking leaves around the depot. And he saw me, and he hired me on the spot because he needed someone to fit the part of his corpse.
That's it. And you'll admit you were well qualified for the job, alone in the world.
Except for Jesse, yes.
Which you didn't happen to mention. And the fact that you were bald.
That's Two truths.
Don't be sensitive. You see, Crowley, your Hirsch was also bald.
What? All that hair of his a week?
That's right, toupee, every bit of it. And incidentally, you see, the reason I caught on to things, Johnny, a policeman found a newspaper picture of Newcomb and Crowley in Newcomb's wallet.
Which told you that I couldn't be Crowley.
That's right. It also told me more. When the policeman accidentally put his thumb over the bald part of Crowley's head, it gave me a different picture. Then I only paid attention to what I could see, features blurred though they were.
Which then you were Herschel.
Uh-huh.
Miss Jessie.
Yeah, wait a minute, wait a minute.
I know.
Hello.
Mr. Philip Marlowe, please.
It's Marlowe speaking.
On your call to Miss Jessie Gavins in Eagles Rock, Montana. One moment, please, sir.
Here, take it, Jonathan.
Me?
Yeah, go ahead, speak.
All right. Hello, Jessie. Jessica. Yeah, this is Johnny. Yeah, Cuddles. Yeah, it's me, all right. I'm in Los Angeles with Mr. Marlowe.
Cuddles, you don't have to shout so loud, you know.
She's clean up there, the Eagles.
I know, but she can hear you. Just talk.
Jessica, you guess what happened now? Now, I'll tell you, yeah. A man hired me to work for him. Yeah, to pose, to impersonate a Mr. Ross J. Crowley, because he said he had to be free to investigate some crooked people who would try and contact me. Yeah. And since he offered good money right on the spot there, Jessica, I took the job. I thought you'd be proud of me making extra money. No, wait a minute, Jessica. Mr. Marlowe, I better cut this short, hadn't I? It's long distance. It costs money.
Don't worry about it, Johnny. There's no hurry. Take your time.
Oh, thank you. Jessica. Now, what this man really wanted... You there, Jessica? Was to use me as a corpse. That's right, a body. No, his. I feel fine. You see, he was going to put his rings on me, another identification, then knock me unconscious and get me to the river and...
By the time I got Jonathan Mida down to Union Station and aboard a northbound train, with specific instructions to stay away from strangers, and got back to my own apartment on Franklin, it was better than 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, and I was tired as I emptied out my pockets and started to undress. But I forgot about that when my eye fell on the picture that Jessie Gavins had sent me in her original letter. The picture of Jonathan. Well, now Aunt Jessie was going to be happy. But I wondered for how long. Somehow the portrait of the man with a hoe with the solid look of the ages didn't fit the spare frame of Jessie's Knight of the Road. A lonesome train whistle would blow in the night, and Jonathan Mida would be gone.
The Adventures of Philip Marlowe star Gerald Mohr and are produced and directed by Norman MacDonald. Script is by Mel Donnelly, Robert Mitchell, and Gene Levitt. Featured in the cast were Georgia Ellis, Hans Conrad, Ann Morrison, Herb Butterfield, Wilms Herbert, and Bill Boucher. The special music is composed and conducted by Richard Arant.
From September 3rd, 1949, The Adventures of Philip Marlowe on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, an episode of the soap opera Claudia, September 13th, 1948.
And now, Claudia.
Come on, get conscious, will you? This is a dress rehearsal, remember? All right, you kids, now get out of the wings. No talking backstage, and don't smoke unless it's a part of the business that you've rehearsed. All right, now try and act as if you knew what you were doing. All right, let's go on from there.
You know, Mama, I don't blame Varney for getting his dander up. It's not going at all well, is it?
Maybe this is the way dress rehearsals go, David.
Maybe. But from the looks of things, I doubt it.
Frankly, so do I.
It's pretty bad.
I'm starting to wish we hadn't come.
I feel pretty much the same. Between you and me, your daughter is no actress.
Now, don't blame it on me. She's not my daughter anymore. She's your wife.
She's my wife, all right. She ought to stick to being a wife.
Are you going to tell her? Oh, heavens. Here she comes.
Looks all right. This is her big scene. Hope she gets through it alive.
I can hardly bear to look.
Here I am, Stephanie. You wanted to talk to me.
You bet I wanted to talk to you.
Louder, please. I'm in the 8th row, and I can't hear half of what you're saying. There's no point in saying the lines at all if you can't be heard. All right, go on.
I can hear
What
Claudia.
is it?
You can stand there looking me in the eye and saying, what is it?
What is it, Stephanie?
I want you to leave this house. I want you... Oh, line, please.
All right. Where's the prompter? What is this, a rehearsal or a picnic?
Oh, never mind. All
right, go ahead.
I've got it. Oh, the stupid author. How can I memorize these dreadful, nauseating, banal, lugubrious cliches? It's just impossible, Jim.
Look,
Oh, well.
just say the lines that you have and don't argue about it.
All right, here goes. Yes, I want you to leave this house. I want you to leave this house and never come back.
I thought that's what you were going to say. I'm ready to go. You're my sister, but somehow when I look at you, all the love and all the memories we shared, they're all gone. I'll go.
You had this all planned, didn't you, Anne?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know your part, that's the trouble.
She knew it last night, Mom.
Even I know the line.
Well, if you know the line, of course you do. You've got the script in your hand.
No, I haven't got it in my hand. I'm sitting on it. The line is, I don't know anymore what I had planned.
Thanks.
Go ahead.
I don't know anymore what I had planned or what I meant to do or what I meant to say. All I know is that I'm ready to leave and I don't care if I never come back.
Where are you going?
I bought a ticket for New York this morning. If you like, I'll let you know where I'm staying.
Anne, do you need some money?
I don't need anything. You've taken away the only thing I ever really needed. I loved Guy, Stephanie. I loved him more than you'll ever be able to love anybody. But you have won him. He's yours. I wish you luck. You're going to need it.
Pretty words. Oh, Jim, that's so inadequate. I need something else here, something I can get my teeth into, something with emotion, with bite.
She's got her teeth in the scenery, if you ask
so
me.
innocuous.
Look, just get your teeth in the lines you have, and we'll worry about additional lines later. Please go on. Do you know
Excuse me.
Just say it.
All right, pretty words.
Do I speak now?
Yes.
Goodbye.
You're very proud.
Yes, I am proud. Very proud. For the first time in my life, I'm not afraid of you, and I feel I can manage without you. Goodbye, my beautiful sister.
Anne, don't go. Don't leave me, Anne.
Curtain, please. That's enough. It's as much as I can stand.
Well, David, what do you think of that?
Oh, mercy. That was absolutely terrible.
Oh, Sean. You going back to see her?
Yeah, you bet I am.
Well, the pleasure's all yours. What are you going to say to her?
All right, relax.
Exactly what I said to you.
Well, now, don't be too hard on her, David.
Well, compliments won't help her, Mother. Maybe the truth will.
All right, that's all for now. Take a 10-minute break. And everybody back on stage. I want to go over some notes that I made on the run-through. Relax if you can.
No, I don't suppose it went very well, did it, Jim?
It went terrible. You'll have to do a lot better opening night if you want to take this show into New York. And I mean it. All right, now relax, everybody. 10 minutes, and then everybody back on stage. That includes backstage, too.
David, you run along alone. I want to call up the house and ask Bertha if she needs anything for dinner.
Mrs. Brown, I have a sneaking feeling that you are a coward.
I do not deny it or make any excuses.
Well, I'll go on back then. Any message for your daughter?
What does a mother say at a time like this?
A mother? What does a husband say at a time like this? Let's see, where is it? I can never find my way around these places. We should put numbers on the door. Oh, here. Dressing room 8.
Oh, David Norton. Come to see your little wife.
Hello, Miss Manners. That's right.
Well, what do you think of her?
Well, it's hard to judge a performance on its first dress rehearsal.
Well, I think she's very interesting in the part. Yes, very interesting, and really potentially a very sweet little actress.
What worse could you say?
But I think she'll get by. You a cigarette?
Cigarette? Yes, I think so. Your brand?
Thank you.
Okay.
And you know we're all in there pitching for her.
Yes, I know.
Match, please. Thank you. You, going to be around?
Just a little while.
You know, I think if you and I talk this over between us, we might be able to help Claudia. So, Do drop into my dressing room before you go.
Yes, I will.
And Mr. Norton, please don't be too hard on her. Bye-bye.
Oh, wait a minute.
It's only your husband.
Oh, is that all? Come on in.
Well, hello, you.
Hello. Aren't you going to kiss me hello?
With all that stuff on your face?
Oh, it doesn't come off.
I like kissing you, not an advertisement for lipstick.
David, you look as if you have a headache.
I'm not surprised.
Have you one?
No.
Well, then you didn't...
Come on, take off your makeup. Let's go home.
Well, aren't you going to tell me how I was?
Well, take off your makeup. Plenty of time to talk when we get home.
Can I come in?
Oh, come in, Mr. Varney.
Oh. Hello, Norton.
Hello, Varney.
I'm dead. Anybody got a chair for me to drop on?
Yeah, right over there.
Well, that was the first dress rehearsal. We are sure not going to get far this way.
Was it so terrible?
Young lady, I think it's time you and I had a little talk.
Don't go, David. Stay here.
Well, just as you say, remember, I'm only your husband.
Got a match?
Yeah, sure.
Cigarette?
Oh, here's one. Well, yes, Mr. Varney?
Claudia, what happened to you?
What do you mean?
I thought you were going to be good in this part. I thought you were going to be fresh and young and simple. I thought the audience was going to be on your side.
And?
You came out on that stage and nothing happened. No electricity. No excitement. No surprise.
No, nothing?
No, nothing at all. You looked as if you felt you didn't belong there. You looked like a sleepwalker. You looked as if you had to keep remembering your speeches.
Well,
you looked
I
as if
did.
you just... Oh, yes, you did. You looked as if you'd stumbled on the stage by mistake.
Well, I didn't feel that way, honestly, Mr. Varney. I was starting to feel it was going pretty well.
Well, take it from me, it didn't go very well. It didn't go really well at all. The whole thing reeked.
Now, wait a minute, old man. Your star, Miss Victoria Manners, isn't one jot better.
That has nothing to do with it.
Well, why don't you go bawl her out?
Now, one thing at a time.
You don't dare bawl her out, so you're taking it out on Claudia.
David, you don't have
Now,
to...
personally, I thought Claudia was pretty darn good.
You don't say.
I do say. What's more, I'll have you know I'm not prejudiced. I'm always the first one to hop on her when she's wrong. I think she has a difficult part to do, and she's not getting any help from the other actors on the stage either.
You don't say.
David, it's awfully sweet of
No,
you,
you
but
shut
really...
up. I'm talking now.
Go ahead.
If she did look lost and helpless and uncertain, then that's in the part.
The point is, my dear man, that Claudia is not supposed to look confused, but the part that she's playing is supposed to look confused.
Oh, hogwash.
David, you're being awfully sweet,
I'm not
but...
being sweet.
Husbands should not be allowed in the theater. They're a pain in the neck. They're worse than mothers.
I agree with you, but I'm here now, and you asked me to come to this dress rehearsal. It's not my idea. If you don't like Claudia in this part, I'll take her right home with me, and you can find yourself another actress.
David!
I told you to shut up.
So now I'm getting my orders from you, Norton.
You're darn right you are. I think it's high time you stop picking on my wife just because you don't dare pick on Victoria Manners. If you ask me, she's the one that's terrible.
It doesn't matter how terrible she is. She's still the leading lady.
Yeah, just as I thought. You're scared to tell her. Well, I'll tell her for you.
If you dare say one word
David,
to her...
you wouldn't.
Well, I'll think about it. But how would you like playing a scene opposite Victoria Manners, Mr. Varney? She'd be pushing you into the corner, stepping on all your lines, moving in on your speeches. She'd do everything she could to distract you and take the audience's attention away from you.
I am only a director. All I'm trying to do is put on a play. Just put it on fairly well so that the audience doesn't hoot us out of the theater or sit on their hands when the curtain goes down. What do I get? Aggravation and ulcers.
As for my wife, Mr. Varney, I think you're pretty darn lucky she's in your play.
Oh, well, what's the difference? I just came in here to give her a mild criticism so she'll give a better performance. And, well, honey, all I can say is it must be wonderful to be married to a man who's in love with you.
It is.
Well, I'll see you on the stage if it isn't too much trouble. So long, Norton.
No hard feelings,
Varney.
Varney.
Oh, no hard feelings. But any time you want to take over the direction of this play, Mr. Norton, it's all yours.
Well, I guess I told him a thing or two.
David, you were wonderful, magnificent.
Yeah, I was at that. That was quite a performance, I
Darling, why didn't you tell me sooner?
Tell you what.
That you thought I was so wonderful. Why, when you came into this dressing room 5 minutes ago, I thought you were going to say I was terrible. You had such a headachy look about you. Oh, I can't tell you how relieved I am that you think I'm so good.
Thought you were good. Mama and I thought you were terrible.
What?
Yeah, Barney's absolutely right. Everything he told you was the honest truth.
You mean I wasn't any good?
I said you were terrible. What on earth made you think you were any good?
You did?
Well, you didn't think I was going to agree with Varney, did you, while he was insulting you? You don't think I'm going to stand by and let another man criticize my wife and say absolutely nothing?
Then you didn't mean what you were saying?
How many times do I have to tell you?
Oh, my gosh.
All right, now, young lady, it's up to you. And if you make a liar out of me, I will brain you.
Well, you've made a liar out of yourself already.
No, I haven't. You just get good, and that's all there is to it.
That's all. You make it sound so simple.
Darling, you can get good. I know it. Or I wouldn't have bothered lying for you.
Oh, David, it's not easy, but it's so wonderful to try to live up to you.
Even if you're one of those women who likes to shop, there are moments in the course of a buying trip when your patience and energy run out. At such times, you'll do well to look about for one of those friendly red coolers that invite you to shop refreshed. Pause for ice-cold Coca-Cola, and it'll be easier to finish shopping. Coke helps to restore your good humor. It brings everyone the pause that refreshes.
Did you watch the dress rehearsal, Mr. King?
Oh, I eavesdropped on part of it, Miss Manners.
Well, what did you think?
Well, I'd rather not say.
Oh, then you agree with David.
I'll give you my opinion after the opening night on Monday. That's the only time it's really fair to judge an actress.
Suppose Claudia will be so nervous on Monday, it'll be even less fair to judge her then.
Well, we'll see. First things first, you know.
Well, be sure to come around backstage to say hello.
I will. Every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you transcribed with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again Monday at the same time.
Oh, dear. Hope this goes better for Claudia. September 3rd, 1948. Claudia here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thank this station, support their advertisers. It's their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time you roll around here on your favorite radio station. If you miss a day, you do not have to miss one single show. All of our shows are available on our webpage, classicradio.stream, where you can stream our shows on demand, a listing there of all the podcast applications and sites that our shows are available. You can learn about building a classic radio collection of your own. You can find all of our social media links. You can contact me. And if you want to help us acquire new collections of classic radio programs to be here on your favorite station, you can buy me a coffee. All that buy me a coffee money goes to helping us acquire additional classic radio theater collections for us to air. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.